the count, because I really love to.
Welcome back to the GC Informer. My name is Snowy, otherwise known as Count Fracula, the only newscaster whose snark level is over 9,000! We are going to start today by talking about Ark Survival Evolved, a game that is no stranger to controversy, and it's found itself in some more this last week. For those of you who don't know, Ark Survival Evolved recently doubled its price tag to, I think, $60 now, so we're going on AAA pricing. Do bear in mind that this game is still in early access, scheduled to be released from there in August, but it is already charging itself at $60, and there have been no sort of press release or reason from the developers given as to why there has been such a massive price increase. This has itself attracted some criticism from other early access game developers, such as Dean Hall, the developer of DayZ, a game that is still in early access, but he does kind of have the high ground because he didn't raise the price of this game. Dean Hall called the move fucking outrageous, quote, stating that the game is nowhere near ready for that kind of price and it was pure greed. He also stated that it represented a huge disconnect from the community, but in other tweets he also stated that he is a fan of the game, but that to charge AAA prices, you need to have the AAA standard of quality. Not that means a huge amount today when you look at some of the AAA releases coming out. Arkham Knight! Oh, sorry, I don't know what happened there. One person who responded to these tweets was Gary Newman, not the singer but the developer of Gary's Mod and Rust, who said that they're good at making money through DLC, price hikes and consoles. Maybe we could learn from them. It is, well, I take it as the tweet was sarcastic, but if it's true, I don't think we should learn the lesson from that, because a rabid fan base is basically the lesson that's been learned. Have a rabid fan base and let them just do everything and spend loads of money regardless of what you do. As we all know, Ark Survival Evolved is no stranger to scandal, so this is just really another one on the fire for them, but I do hope they at least try and reconsider lowering the price again until it's launched at the very least, please, because that's a bit ridiculous. $60 for an early access game? Come on. Moving on to some positive news, the Oculus Rift, including the Oculus Rift touchpads, has been reduced to $399. This is the second time that they have had this discount. It happened a few months ago and it's happening again and will go on for about 6 weeks. As someone who would really like a VR headset at some point, although personally I would go for the Vive, this is frankly an amazing deal, and if you have that sort of money and you were thinking about getting something like a PS4 Pro, I'd use your money on the Oculus instead, because that is a frankly fabulous deal. VR is, to me, not necessarily going to become part of the core gaming experience, but it's certainly going to be one of the bigger selling fringe things, and this is a very good way to get onto it if you want to try that sort of thing. The cut is obviously to sort of compete with the HTC Vive, because the Rift doesn't have quite the same technical specifications as the Vive, as in you can't do things like the whole room scale stuff, which is basically the main selling point of the Vive for me. That's why I'd pick that over the Rift. But it might work, because the Oculus has had some sort of... It's not had as much of the market share as it thought it would at the start because of competitors like the Vive, so this might be a very good way for them to cut back in a little bit. Who remembers the pile of dog shit animations that was Mass Effect Andromeda? The game was released 4 months ago, and I've only just found this out. It is still receiving patches for its facial animations. The facial animations were one of the main criticisms levied at the game when it was launched, and it seems that while they've got most of the big issues ironed out in terms of the facial animations, there's still quite a few little niggling things that they've not fixed. That means they really, are they fixing the other issues? I really hope they're fixing the other issues, because let's be honest, that game the facial animations was not the only thing wrong with that game. This comes not long after we were told that Bioware Montreal, which is the company or the division of Bioware behind this, is it Montreal? Yes, that is good, thank goodness for that. I didn't quite sound like a tit then. They had been downsized and the whole Mass Effect franchise had been put on ice, so it seems that while that's the case, the few people who are left in the office are at the very least just trying to fix the game up as best they can. Again though, the game should probably not have launched in the state that it had. Looking at it was just so unfinished and it could have done so much more. It looked very promising, but it didn't live up to that hype, mostly because of the way that it launched. And finally, some positive news. I'm going to go, yeah, I've done a sort of, I was about to say a compliment sandwich, but at the same time, it's not quite, because it's negative, positive, negative, positive. So it's more like a positivity pink wafer. Man, I wonder how well that reference travels outside of the UK. No idea. Anyway, moving on. The Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Insane, I still hate that, is still top of the charts in the UK for the second week running. In fact, Amazon UK had run out of stock very quickly and have only just managed to get stock back in, so that says a lot about how quickly this game is actually going out the door. In this week's top sales, the top 5 in the UK were Micro Machines, FIFA, Grand Theft Auto, I think I've got that in the wrong order, I have Overwatch, sorry, Grand Theft Auto and Crash, which is, you know, weird. Overwatch and GTA 5 are still selling that well. I mean, GTA 5 especially, because that's not a young game anymore, but still selling gangbusters apparently. This is to me an example of the sort of release that proves to the AAA industry that the type of game that it isn't as dead as they might have thought. We've seen this before with releases of things like Amnesia proving to the industry that horror isn't dead as a genre, and now we've had this along with releases such as Snake Pass and Ukulele to a lesser extent, showing us that the 3D platformer of the style of the PS1 era isn't quite dead yet. Of course, we, the gamers, knew this. There was a big selection of people who want these kinds of games, as there is with most genres, but of course the AAA industry knows only to go after what is insanely popular at the moment. This was the same in 2008 to 2010 when they were going after shooters mercilessly, in fact it was probably more like 2012, and now when they're going after survival, crafting, open worldy type games of the things that sold well on Steam and Skyrim and that of the like. They're just copying that, because of course they are. Still, AAA publishers will never learn, but this might mean that the 3D platformer may make a comeback. There's already been rumours, bear in mind rumours, of a Spyro the Dragon remaster, something which I would welcome very much indeed. So that's it for the GC Informer for today, and tomorrow you'll have me again. Aren't you all very lucky? If you like this video, please give us a like and a subscribe. Our social links are also down in the description. If you want to see more of me, I do Let's Plays over on my channel. That'll be on an end card. And of course, thank you very much for watching, and I will hope to see you next time for some more news.